All right, I have a really fun idea for you and your kids today. All you need is a Ziploc bag and the ingredients to make bread. We are gonna make bread in a bag. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna have your kids take a Ziploc bag, and this is a great way to teach them measuring skills, especially with flour. So when you teach flour, you wanna make sure that they know that the flour should not be packed in tight. It'll be way too heavy. So you want to teach the flour goes in light and fluffy, just like the snowfall. So we're going to start with 1 cup of flour. You're going to take a straight edge spatula to make sure that it is completely leveled at the top. We're going to add our 1 cup of flour into our Ziploc bag. The next thing we're going to add to our flour is 3 tablespoons of sugar. And this just helps to feed the yeast we're going to be putting in with our flour. So a tablespoon is the biggest measuring spoon in your standard set. And we're going to use our straight edge spatula again, just to level off each of our 3 tablespoons. All right, we're also gonna add yeast. Now I know yeast can be kind of tricky to find right now too, but if you have some, I recommend always store it in the refrigerator. It helps preserve and prolong the life of it. Now yeast is a single-celled microorganism which lives and breathes. It breathes out carbon dioxide, which is why yeast makes things rise. It eats sugar, and salt slows down the craziness that yeast can get into. So we're gonna measure out 1 package. If you don't have a package, 1 package is equal to 2 1/4 teaspoons. So the yeast has been added to our mixture. Now we need to bring it to life. And in order to bring it to life, we need to add warm water. So I am gonna use a thermometer to make sure that my 1 cup of water is between the temperatures of 105 to 115. Any cooler and it won't activate the yeast. Any hotter and it'll basically fry the yeast and kill it. So get down eye level and make sure your water is right on the dot of your liquid measuring cup for 1 cup of water. We're gonna add this into our sugar, flour, and yeast mixture. We're gonna zip up our bag and we're gonna smush it. Jason, do you want to come smush this for me?
Oh yeah.
Come here. Smush this up really good, okay? So Jason's gonna squish this and smush it, make sure it's sealed because little hands can drop them. And then we're gonna let it rest for about 10 minutes. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes, and so my yeast has had a chance to kind of get activated with the sugar. It got fed and heated up with the warm water. What we're gonna do now is add a little bit of tenderness, and usually how we get tenderness is through some sort of oil or fat. And we're gonna use olive oil for this recipe. So you're gonna add in 3 tablespoons. So 3 tablespoons of oil go into my bag. I'm gonna add 1½ teaspoons of salt. And this is going to add flavor as well as kind of keep that yeast under control. We're gonna seal this up and we're gonna squish this together, okay bud?
Okay. Oh, cool. It actually makes those big white stuff.
While he is squishing this soft warm mixture, I'm gonna measure 1 more cup of flour. Once this is just about all mixed in, you're gonna add in 1 more cup of flour. You can handle this? Okay, Jason has gotten that all smushed in together for me. I'm gonna dump out everything from this bag onto my countertop. Now this is a great opportunity to teach kids kind of how to knead. Now keep in mind this isn't gonna be perfect. Your kids are gonna play around with it and just embrace it. It's part of the fun. But what you're gonna do is just kind of start pushing it around to get some of the sticky out. And then you're gonna form it into a ball the best you can. Notice yeast breads, like I've talked about before, always kind of have this shaggy texture when you make them. And all you do is you just start spinning it and folding it in half. Spinning it, fold it in half and push. Spin, fold in half and push. Do you want to try it, Jason?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Or maybe not.
Or not, Molly, do you want to try it?
What?
Try to knead it, fold it, push it half and turn. No? All right. You're just gonna need this for about 3 to 4 minutes until the dough starts to feel smooth and elastic. So I finished kneading my bread. What I'm gonna do next is show you how to shape a loaf of bread for a pan, a loaf pan. And we're gonna use a standard size, which I've greased with some cooking spray. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna start pulling the surface of this bread towards the bottom so that you get a nice smooth surface on the top. Towards the bottom, just kind of lightly roll. Gather it up one more time and pull that bottom. Smooth it out the best you can. Put it seam side down into your loaf pan. We're gonna cover with a towel and we're gonna just let this rise for about 30 to 40 minutes. All right, so after your dough has had a chance to rise for about 30 to 40 minutes in a warm covered place, I'm gonna put it into a 350-degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. All right, it's been about 35 minutes, so I'm gonna get in here and take out my hot bread, and I'm gonna set it on my counter or a cooling rack for about 10 minutes before I transfer the loaf out of the pan and onto the cooling rack to allow it to cool completely.